Yeah, no, I got you. Check, baby, check 1, 2. Ready, one. Rolling on 1.
Guess I'm ready.
Yes, through the middle. Ryan, coming at you from the bunker.
The cold bunker.
Cold bunker. It is chilly down here this morning, man. Or this afternoon, this evening, whatever day it is, whatever time of day. I'm drinking coffee, so I was like, man, feels like morning.
7:15.
It's cold. You know when you wake up in the morning?
PM.
You know, right when you wake up in the morning, and it's like you're up underneath those blankets. And I don't, and if it's wintertime, I don't care how warm it is inside your house for some reason. When you wake up and it's wintertime and you're just rising up out of that bed, the alarm goes off. You kind of open your eyes a little bit, man, and then that coolness sticks to you. And it's like, whoo, make you feel alive first thing in the morning, man.
It was brisk in here this morning.
Yeah.
It was 57.
57. Yeah, Ryan likes it chilly, man. He likes it cold.
I don't like paying a gas bill. We have not turned our heater on yet. So, but we did run out of firewood, and that sucks.
Yeah.
My other problem is I don't trust people. So, like, my firewood guy, I've known for 25 years. And I don't know. I just don't trust people.
What do you mean by that?
Well, I like to
Like
get
not people, but your firewood guy.
What do I mean? I've known him. I trust him. So when he says,
so you do trust your firewood guy.
absolutely. He says, I'm going to get a load of hardwood. I'll get a load of that. I don't get a bunch of mixed BS.
I see.
And it's a good long bed Dodge pickup load. So it's a rick and maybe a quarter rick. Yeah.
How long's a rick last you?
So the first 2 I bought, each one lasted a month for $100.
That's not bad.
No, it's not bad.
That's not bad at all.
The second one lasted 3 weeks, but it got colder.
Getting colder. Yeah, it's getting colder.
Well, and then also, too, there was 1 week, Christmas, right? We're home a lot more, so we burned more firewood.
Oh, yeah,
And
Christmas time and all that. Yeah.
We were home that week, working from home.
Snow days.
So, so we were home a lot more, but, oh, God dang it. Yeah.
And, it's not, I don't know. It's not necessarily that I don't trust people. I suppose I trust people to be how they've shown me they're going to be.
Right.
Or just how I perceive them to be, maybe.
I just don't want to find a new firewood guy.
Yeah. I'm just thinking in generalities, you know what I mean? Like in general, like trust no one. Like you can't move along. You're not going to move along very well in life if you just have the mentality that I trust no one. You know what I mean? You're just not. There's no way because you have to have.
Hold on. I'm willing to give people the benefit of the doubt when my dollar's not involved.
Well, even if money's not involved, though, just common courtesy, you know what I mean? Like just building relationships, building partnerships, building like working with people, like just having relations with people. Like if you have the mentality that I trust no one, you're not going to make it very far. You're not going to do very well. You're going to have a lifetime, I would say, of some pretty hard struggles, which that might be meant for you.
I guess. I don't know.
But if you have if you stand back and you're just like, this is how I kind of perceive things, is I just trust you to be who you show me to be. So like, I'm not like you could say I don't trust a snake, but I trust a snake because I trust a snake to do what a snake's going to do. You know what I mean? Yeah. For instance.
Well, the unfortunate thing,
so I only bring them around so close. I set better boundaries.
There's not very many places to go to get firewood.
Yeah. So no, I'm not just talking about the firewood guy. I just brought up the trust issue.
I was kind of being facetious because honestly, I give people the benefit of the doubt and let them take away that trust, which some people do right away, and then I make them earn it back. I mean, I think in the scheme of things, really it comes down to I'm just really pretty loyal to this one guy, and I wouldn't go anywhere else. I would wait for him. Well, so, like when I ordered it,
I was like, I'm going to freeze to death waiting on you, buddy.
I'm not going to freeze to death. I could turn my gas on. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So, I mean, in the next few days, if I don't have some wood, then maybe I'll consider turning my gas on. But when we moved in here in July, there's no reason to pay $60 to I don't need it.
Yeah.
Everything else is electric.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Makes sense, man.
And if I run my fireplace, it stays 68 degrees in the house.
No, it feels really good when you have the fire going over there, man. It does feel good in here.
It's a huge difference.
The whole house, I would say, yeah. But it does feel good upstairs. When I was up there, it felt good up there. Of course,
That's
you have
one heater.
And you were cooking too when I walked in.
I was cooking when I walked in. Yeah,
man, it's
I like
smelling
the cast
good
iron
too
because it holds a lot of heat.
Yeah.
Every once in a while, I got to turn my oven on, but just one infrared heater, and then at night we turn one on in our bedroom.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, minimize bills. I think it's a lot cheaper. I just know based on what it took to keep my house cool in the summer, because this house is old. I was not even going to try to do that with a gas bill and be paying $400 or $500 a month gas bills. Ain't happening. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And
I do know what you mean.
So there's that, but I don't like burning wood, dude. If I have, in fact, what I need to do is we got a wood burning stove given to us. We just need to pick it up, and the bad thing is it's in a basement. So
it would be cool to have, like, I'm thinking of my house, because I don't have a fireplace in my house, and that would be kind of cool to have a fireplace sitting there.
Put one in,
I got a fake
floor.
one. You know what I mean? I got a fake one, you could say, but not a real one.
Right.
Well, I'm burning wood. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Roasting hot dogs on there for dinner or something.
So the wood burning stove will go upstairs.
Yeah.
Yeah. There's lots of different ways that we could.
That's probably quite the bit of an undertake, I would think. Like venting one of those out. I've got involved.
Big.
Yeah, I've got involved with one in old buddy of mine's. We'd put one in his garage, and I remember having to run it out the house, out the garage area and all that, and putting the firewall up and all that good stuff.
Well,
that was
cool. That was quite. There's already a fireplace where it used to be a fireplace. So it was a gas fireplace, and then they put an electric one in. So we'll just take it out and then put the wood burning stove right there.
And the chimney works good and all that.
Well, I'm not going to use that chimney. We'll plumb it out the roof with a regular flue.
Yeah,
we'll have to do. Because I don't know. I'm assuming I would have to have a separate chimney flue for each fireplace, and so the one that's there, the flue is for the basement only.
Yeah, I would think so. Yeah, I would think so.
Well, I'm sure it is, because that's the only fireplace. But I mean, like, Trish was like, well, why don't you just tap into it? And I was like, well, one, then if I'm burning a fire downstairs, what's to keep the smoke from coming out? You know what I mean? So you have to have the separate for downdrafts and all kinds of,
Oh, yeah, for sure.
But yeah, I don't know. It's free, so we're going to go get it.
Things to be in the work process. Yeah.
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 I mean, they have like a sled deal that you can lay it on and get it up the stairs. And then the last time I moved one from a basement, it was a straight shot to the front door. So then we just hooked a big long rope to the sled and pulled it right out the front door with the pickup.
So how big is this thing?
It probably weighs 600 pounds.
Jeez, man.
It's actually not a wood burner. It's a pellet stove.
Yeah, I was going to say.
Pellet stove. So
big dude, man.
It's considerably lighter than an actual.
Holy smokes. Yeah, the ones I helped do, it was just, one of these kind of smaller ones.
Door.
Yeah, the little door you pop open and throw some wood in, nothing
Most
crazy.
Most of those pellet stoves, though, will burn corn also, and I have a fairly good unlimited supply of corn. It's all about who you know, right? Well, I got a guy.
Who you know and who you can trust from the sounds of it, Ryan.
It does. Well, I think it does matter.
Yeah. That's why I say you just trust people.
It's great. It's actually a great topic. So, I mean, and it's been heavy on my mind a lot because I'm on some different group chats and people will be sharing, reels, Facebook reels and stuff. And every once in a while one will pop up and it'll be a very questionable preacher. Some that even, I guess, unbeknownst to them, have recently been pulled from the pulpit for sexual allegations, but yet they're still posting their reels on Facebook and YouTube and stuff, right?
Yeah, they're making a living, man. It's revenue, man.
Well, I guess, but then I think that's bad.
Well, yeah, I wouldn't say it's necessarily good. I'm just saying is why they probably keep posting it is because people are still listening and tuning in, and they got to keep that revenue stream rolling. I mean, they got bills to pay, man.
Well, yeah.
So they keep the content rolling.
I don't know that the particular pastor is the one that's doing it. Other people are sharing it on their platforms, obviously, you know what I mean? Unbeknownst to them that this guy has been in this heaping amount of trouble, I guess.
Yeah.
Or maybe they know and just don't care. Stuff like that just kind of weighs on me. I mean, it's kind of similar to when you drive by and see the dude with the cross that says, "Please come talk to me," and it just rubs you the wrong way. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Stuff like that just rubs me the wrong way.
And I've been better with that here lately, man, since we're going back to that topic, man. Like I even, since I think I brought that up on the last podcast, right? So they've been out there a couple times since. And the last time I drove by them, I looked over there and I even gave them a little, I gave them a little deuce. You know what I mean? Gave him a little head nod and a deuce, you know.
I'm gonna get over there.
I was like, you know, do you, man? Do you? Like I said, like I've come to the realization that that they're out there, and hopefully they're doing what they feel that is fulfilling their purpose set before them. And who am I to say otherwise? And I shouldn't, you know what I mean? And I could be cordial, I could be kind to that because they're not hurting nobody, and they're doing their part, they're doing their take of what they seem to be the best way they know how to do it, I guess. And
right.
I guess
as long as they're not selling fake miracles, I don't really care what they do.
Let them do what they do, man. You know, they may just save, and that's what I really got to thinking on it too after our discussion. It's like they may in fact just save one person. And if they all the time they stand out there and do all that, and if one person crosses their path that needed them in that moment and they were there and that saved them, you know, it brought them into a salvation state. Stand there all day, man. Stand out there for decades. All I care. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's about that one, and I guess you're doing your part, man.
Right.
Keep doing it.
It's been too cold for me to stop.
Yeah, you know, and I haven't seen him out there in the brutal cold. I was like, man, how serious? And that's why I was kind of seeing.
They were out there last week, and it was colder than.
Oh, it's been cold this week. See, I seen him out there last week. That's when I kind of gave him the deuce, and it was during the day. I haven't seen him out there in that 0 negative temps yet. Like how. You know, but who's going to stop at, 0 degrees negative, negative whatever, 10, whatever it is right now?
I don't know. Depends on, I guess, how serious and dire straits you're in, right?
Yeah, yeah.
I've seen some people do some desperate things in desperate times.
Yeah, good point. True.
It would be a lot easier to pull over on that corner and see if those guys will buy you a cup of coffee at the Metro.
Yeah,
you know?
For sure. Saying. Yeah.
I mean, I think there's
I like the Metro too, man.
These things, there really is. But yeah, I don't know. I mean, I'm just really, honestly, I'm in a crummy mood.
Ryan is
really
grumpy,
want to
man.
be around anybody.
Yeah, I can feel the grumpiness coming from you, man.
You could translate it as that. I translate it as extreme to moderate pain.
Yeah, well, that brings out that grumpiness, I assume.
And then I don't know. I've been, just have a lot going on that end, and thankful. I mean, thankful that I have insurance and stuff, right?
Yeah.
So. Otherwise, wouldn't be able to do any of the stuff that I've been able to do, like go to the doctor. You know,
right
now they're at my mercy instead of me being at theirs, right? Because I have insurance, and I have a little bit of finances to help do some stuff, so that helps too. So, so I'm gonna start some physical therapy, which I'm actually looking forward to because I think it'll be good.
Are you gonna do physical therapy, huh?
I have to.
Nice. Good for you, man.
Wanted me last time when my back was jacked up. They wanted me to, but I didn't have any insurance, and nobody does that stuff for free.
Shoot, man.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I'm gonna go do that. I have an MRI on Saturday. But it's just the same old song and dance of hurry up and wait, I guess.
Yeah.
So, but then I don't know. I was on some prednisone for a few days to try to help mitigate some things, and I was feeling real good. So then I probably overdid it. And then suffer through, and then try to get in the car yesterday, and that was I want to say a bad word right there.
Yeah, see, but that's why, man, you got to put focus on the body, man, on keeping it tuned up, and just staying in somewhat of physical shape.
Yeah,
I mean, it is important.
I definitely do the bare minimums for sure.
Yeah, and I mean that is important, like getting out, walking, moving.
Right.
Doing light stuff, but just staying in movement and not letting the body go kind of stagnant because then once you get injured, man, it is tough, man.
Well, it depends on the injury. So far from looking, and we'll know a whole lot more at the MRI, which I'm glad to get because I want to see if those nodules are gone because this is not even the same pain as that. It's all on one side. So when they did the x-ray, they said major degenerative bone loss in my thoracic spine, which could be from lots of things. Could be hereditary. I don't know. But probably from living a rough life of mostly drugs and alcohol.
Yeah.
You know? So other than that, the one day I went, it's kind of funny. They did my blood pressure, and it was like 187 over 111. And the lady looks at me. She's like, "You feel all right?" And I was like, "Dude, my jaw hurts." And she's like, "I thought you were here for back pain." I said, "I am. My jaw hurts from clenching my teeth so long." And she's like, your blood pressure is kind of an indicator of where you're at. I was like, hey, I feel like you just taking me out back and just shooting me dead, you know?
Right.
So about the only pain I've had that's worse is kidney stones. And that's what they asked, like, what's your pain level? I said, not kidney stones. And they're like, fair enough. You know? So, yeah. So it just sucks. And, like,
Oh, that's pretty good ways of putting it.
it's just gotten worse every day.
I don't know that I've ever had, like, I imagine I have had kidney stones. I mean, I've felt like some pains there. I don't know what they were, but nothing of magnitude that would keep them probably from passing where you get jammed up. You know what I
So
mean?
between your kidney and your bladder is only, that ureter is only 2 millimeters.
Yeah.
So anything 2 millimeters or bigger will not pass easily.
Yeah. Yeah.
So if you felt something, it was probably at least 2 millimeters.
That's what I'm saying. Where you're like, oh, it just gets you, and you're like, oh, then it goes away, and you're like, ah.
Right. So
Yeah.
our friend,
That's the only thing I could think it was, because I don't go to the doctor for it or nothing, but it was just like, it almost drops you, and then it goes, and you're like, oh, then it just
our
moves.
friend that just had a baby, she has kidney stones at the same time. And so we went to see after the baby was born, because I happened to already be at the hospital to get my back worked on. And I said, how you feeling? She goes, oh, really good, except for I have a 7-centimeter kidney stone. I was like, did you say centimeters? She said, yeah, 7 centimeters.
So how do they go about doing that?
They had to put a stent
Probably
in.
surgery.
And yeah, they did the baby first, and then the week after they're going to go in, which will be this week. And they'll knock her out and go in and break it up and take it out. And then she'll have to come back later and have the stent taken.
Ooh, do you think they'll put it in a jar for her or something?
I don't know. They'll probably send it to pathology. When I got
Make
my
like a little keychain or something out of it, or necklace?
weird thing, people will buy that shit.
Yeah, that's weird,
Well,
man. Yeah.
I wanted my gallbladder. It was full of gallstones, and I'd already found some people that were willing to buy it.
So people will buy it.
They wouldn't give it to me. Yeah, weirdos will buy it.
How much they buy that for? A gallbladder? Is that what we're talking here?
Gallbladder full of gallstones. I was asking $500.
You asked her, they were selling.
No, I asked. I wanted mine back after surgery because I was going to sell it to a guy for $500.
Oh, nuh-uh.
Yeah,
What do they do with it?
a lot of people plasticize them. It's like waxy, weird shit.
Yeah,
They'll
yeah.
slice it and do weird stuff with it.
Dang, they were going to buy it for $5. So, but they wouldn't give it back to you?
No, they told me I couldn't have it. They can't just give you body parts from the hospital. It's illegal.
So what do they do with it?
Well, they send it to pathology, and they dissect it and see why you have gallstones and different things.
And then they just dispose of it from there? Or do you think they...
They probably sell it.
Yeah, I was like, wait a minute. They're probably getting like
they're
5
actually
times
way-
that much money for it.
Probably not from a crappy gallbladder that doesn't work. But so there was a deal. I just watched it, and this guy actually like went crazy over this. That he was working in a hospital, and he like stumbled into this room. And this is where it kind of screws him up, is that he liked to have fun. So he goes in this room, and he was like a janitor, maintenance guy. He goes into the room, and he starts opening things, and there's just like some weird paperwork and some body parts, different things, right? And then, so there's some refrigerators full of body parts. So he gets this crazy idea that the hospital's selling the body parts, right? Now, weird thing is, at the end of the day, after these people shamed him to death, he lost his job. Then he became like a fairly well-to-do business owner, but he never let go of that conspiracy theory about them selling the body parts. So years later, he's still pursuing it.
No kidding. He's still chasing it.
Yeah. So then, at the end of the day, basically the government shut him down, right?
What do you mean they shut him down? Like he was on
The machine got him.
was he on podcasts or YouTube?
He had his own podcast.
He'd talk about it all the
Not
time.
very often. So him and his brother were fake Elvis singers, right?
Of course they were.
Listen, and then they were realtors. Okay,
Yeah.
very successful. And but prior to that, he'd worked at the hospital, but he just never let that conspiracy go. But yeah, so basically, like I said, the machine got him.
They shut him down.
He
He was getting too close to him, you think?
Yeah, made him out like he was crazy.
Of course, that's the MO.
Lost his realtors, lost everything. He lives in a trailer out in the woods now.
Dang.
And his brother still lives in a mansion, of course.
Is he-
So, well, he won't talk to anybody. You know what I mean?
yeah. Huh.
Maybe I watch too much shit like that, so I don't trust anybody.
Well, my mind already kind of went there, you know what I mean? Just hearing about it.
No.
It's like, well,
It's hard to, Keeler, I watch too much stuff, I guess, and really it does amount to that. But even like watching through political stuff, which is more entertainment to me. But you see, I watch both sides, right? So
Yeah,
I watch
they're
the Democrat
hilarious.
take, I watch the
Yeah.
Republican take because it's almost like watching American Dad, right? I mean, it really is. The politics involved are that cheesy.
Yeah, it is really. Because I'm like, is this really going on? That's why. Yeah. Anyways,
You
go
hear
ahead,
it
Ryan.
so much.
Yeah.
These guys are talking out both sides of their mouth. Then they literally get caught, right, red-handed, but they still say their lie. Both sides, Republicans, Democrats, don't care. And then it after a while, you start ticking in your head. It's just like, and then I watch all this stuff. I watch a lot of stuff on theology, and so there's lots of debates and a lot of accusations of heresy and false teachings getting thrown around. And I think that if someone is heretical, they should be called out. I think that there's things that are heretical that shouldn't be taught, and they keep being taught. And like I was saying at the beginning, people keep sharing it, so people are going to watch it. You know?
Yeah, and like on the whole political thing too, it's just like it's just so much speaks to what you're saying, because like they just nonstop lies to one another, and then they're like, no, we're not doing this, all these people are trying to say this, you know what I mean? Or I don't know what they're saying, but they're just saying like you've done bad things or illegal things or unlawful things, whatever. And then they're like, no, you know, and then you get all the way down the end, and then all of a sudden, full pardons just start flying.
Right.
It's like,
Good
well,
for
what,
them, though, right?
what do you mean you wasn't doing nothing?
Yeah, that
Well,
rubs me. That
you know what I
rubs
mean?
me
Like,
the wrong way.
like
a little
why
bit.
are you writing all these things? I just find it very,
You
very
know,
like you said, entertaining and comical, and it's just like this is the fabric of society at this moment. Is this what? And everybody just seems to be okay with it. I don't know.
I'm less
Trips
upset
me out,
about
man.
that. I'm more upset that Joe Biden didn't pardon Joe Exotic.
That would have been classic.
I
For
think
real
if
though,
you're
that
just
should have
gonna
been
cut-
like his last.
If you're
move.
just going to cut a bunch of people loose, why not cut the Tiger King loose?
Yeah,
you
that
know?
that dude, that would have been like the most. That would have been the best. That's what he should have done. Yeah,
I was
Tiger
hopeful.
King gets out, man.
I mean, see,
Yes, part of the Tiger
but all
King.
of it's
do
on
it.
par. All of it's on par to me. I see very little difference between politicians and the Tiger King.
Yeah, yeah.
Clowns, right?
Oh man,
Really are.
You know, and I never did watch that show. I just heard a lot about it, but I would say pardon him
dude.
just on that note.
Me and Trisha watched it like after it had been out, because they released like an episode like once a week or whatever, I guess.
Yeah.
Maybe they didn't, I don't know, but when we watched it, we were able to watch it from start to finish
Oh yeah,
with
perfect.
no weeks in between or
That
nothing.
little binge watch.
Dude, we laughed so hard, dude. I mean, and then all the Tiger King memes for like 2 years after the show. Then they went back and had couple new episodes. So, but then the same guys that made a show. It's on HBO, and I'm not trying to plug it, but it's funny too. It's called Chimp Crazy.
Chimp crazy. Of
Dude,
course.
people go crazy
Now-
over chimpanzees.
Now on a pardon, maybe he couldn't pardon because they can only pardon on like a federal level,
Joe
correct?
Exotic is in federal prison.
Is he? Okay, well then he could get
did
the
not
pardon
break
then.
any state laws. He only broke federal law.
Well then he could have got the pardon. Or he still might. Trump could even pardon him right now. I heard wasn't Trump writing a bunch of pardons today too?
Trump was writing pardons for something different.
Well, yeah, but he could have thrown. He could have
could,
thrown
yeah, I don't
Tiger.
think that would
Maybe
be a
that's not the
good
first
way.
thing you do. Maybe Trump does that on the way out the door. In 4 years, on the way out the door, maybe he's all like, "Tiger King, it's your time."
I think he's only probably got about that much time left in prison. I think he got like 9 years total.
Okay, well that's
What
probably
do you
why
got?
they're not pardoning him. You know what I mean?
What I want to
Well,
know
9 years, he's probably out.
is
How
why
long
they're
ago?
not. That's what I'm saying. He'd be
Yeah.
out by the time Trump goes.
Yeah,
What I want to know is why they're not investigating that old Carol Baskin,
yeah.
which means nothing to you if you never watched the show.
I've heard of her name. That was
That's
the one
his
that
arch enemy.
Yeah, that's the arch enemy, right? The other tiger lady, the Tiger Queen, right? Yeah, she had a bunch of tigers. The Tiger Queen, the Queen and the King got
Tell
thrown
you.
in, and the Queen still
There's
roams.
something wrong with them.
She's out there roaming, right? I wonder if she still has.
She does.
Yeah, see,
absolutely.
does she still have a tiger camp or a tiger facility? Yeah,
she
she's
doesn't
still the
get as-
queen.
She doesn't get as much money. as
Oh
she's-
yeah, but she's still the queen though.
No, absolutely. Her
Yeah.
weirdo husband.
It's easy to be the queen on top when the king's locked away, I suppose.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Stuff like that makes me feel good about my life, Keeler.
You know, I just go to Walmart if I want to feel good, I suppose.
There's some truth to that.
Take a stroll, like you feeling low, beat up and down, if you're down on life, down in the world, man, just take a stroll through Walmart. And I would say to take a stroll at Walmart at like 2:30 in the morning.
Oh, you can't anymore.
Can't no more, dude. I miss that. Like there'd be times where I couldn't sleep at night, and just for fun, I'd be like, man, I'm going to Walmart, dude. Dude, I'd see such the coolest, like the craziest stuff, man. Like I remember one time, this has been like one of the last times before COVID hit, and they went into that lockdown scenario, and they never came out of it for all nighters. And I walked in there, dude. I kid you not, man. There's this chick in there. An older lady. She was older than me, had to have been. And so she was probably, I bet, late 40s, early 50s, maybe, in there with roller skates on, man. And moving, clucking, glitching. She was in. Oh yeah, dude. She was feeling great. And it was, I'm a people watcher. I got to say, I love to watch people at times. And, just stroll there. And then I was like, well, she caught my attention, man. And I just remember watching her. She was, cracking me up, going 100 miles an hour through that store. And no one was saying anything to her. That's what blows my mind. It's like that's probably why they shut it down. Well, yeah, like who's going to go up and approach this lady? We're just like, get your stuff and carry on, please.
Yeah. I used to buy a lot of batteries at 2 in the morning.
Oh my goodness, Ryan.
Mostly lithium.
Man, you're probably on a sheet somewhere, a list.
Listen, my last name is for sure. Not always because of me. I'm on some different lists now.
Yeah.
Some good lists.
Yeah, I never did that type of stuff that late at night, man. No way.
That didn't matter. It's just batteries.
Yeah. Yeah, just batteries. I'm getting a whole shopping cart full of batteries.
Didn't need that many.
I'm just saying. I'm being sarcastic there, but you know what I mean.
10 sets of batteries and 10 flashlights.
Yeah, looking straight suspect, man. Oh.
Well, usually have my sunglasses on, so I didn't look suspect.
Yeah, I got my shades on. They can't recognize me. Of course, back then, it was a lot different back then, though, too.
It's crazy. It's the Wild West, dude. That part of life really is. Even still, you think about it. And it's not. I'm not in the trenches as much as like I was trying to help people. More on the fringe edge of it, right? People that are just
fringe edge. Yeah, I like that.
They're not hardcore. They're just dipping their toe in the water.
Yeah.
But at the same time, it's like working in Newton, and I recognize things that other people don't recognize. Some of it just from study, and some of it from life experience. And so it's interesting when people come through and they get this label, and at the end of the day, I'm like, you guys don't think that they're just on drugs?
Yeah.
And they're like, oh, they should be,
Yeah. Yeah, isn't it crazy if people don't catch that, right?
No, I'm pretty sure 100% that they're in meth psychosis or something.
Yeah, you see that, and like you're saying, like, you help people on the fringe edge. Yeah. Well, if they're that deep down in the trenches, there's not much you can really do to help other than maybe drop a breadcrumb or a little seed there.
By fringe
something
edge,
to think about.
more,
No, I know what you're talking about there.
I'm not going into
that's what I mean.
Whole trap houses anymore.
Well, that's what I mean. But those are the people that are in the trenches, and it's like you can't really do much for those because at a certain point, a person has to be willing to make a change or actually want some help. Possibly,
I was in pretty deep when I've decided to make a change. Finally,
well, that's what I mean. But it was those people not there trying to just be in your face. It was probably those along the way that dropped little breadcrumbs and little seeds that got you thinking about things. And then eventually,
undeniably God.
Right. And then eventually, it's those divine appointments, man, or just God doing what God does and, showing you a little path here and there. You just got to you have to make the conscious choice though, to take that.
Oh, yeah.
And usually it's usually when you are in those trenches, you're at your reckoning, you're at your low, just getting beat down. I call them timeouts, man. You're getting timed out, man. And you've been in there for a while. And, you're in a total chaos within, without, everywhere. You're attracting chaos, man. That's usually when I find myself at my lows anyways. Probably you as well.
6-week bender.
Yeah. And that's usually when you start to think a little bit differently, maybe. That thought process begins to take because you're like, man.
Lost my dream job.
Yeah.
Yep. It was pretty tough on me.
For sure, man.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And then you begin to slowly just make transitions, man.
Well, I mean, I guess I made the decision, sure, ahead of time, but I was using right up till the minute I walked in Oxford. And then even after that, I used a little because they took me to get my stuff. They said, I told them, I said, let me come back when I get calmed down. They said, nope, you either stay tonight or you're not getting in.
Yeah.
And the dude says, I'll take you to your place to get your shit. And I was like, all right, that's fine. We didn't even go there. We went to where my drugs were.
Yeah.
And then I packed a backpack full of like towels so it looked like I grabbed some stuff.
Yeah.
And then I ate about a teener of dope and went back to Oxford.
Yeah. Yeah. It is crazy. Like, man, you start thinking about that. Like, you know, I guess I've been in scenarios where I've helped people clean out like storage units and stuff like that.
Find crazy amounts of weird stuff.
And and I've had guys hit me up. They're like, hey, you know what I mean? You want to come help me clean out this unit? He's just like, I'm afraid of what we're going to find. And I need someone that's a little bit more on the sound mind, just because I don't want to do something stupid if we find something. And, you know, if I'd almost say 10 out of 10, but it's probably more like 8 out of 10 times, maybe you'll come across a little something.
Oh, yeah.
And if I find it, you don't even say nothing. You just pocket that thing, dispose of it later, and move along, and don't even bring attention to it. And then sometimes they find it, and then it's like, then you have to you almost have to have your own little AANA meeting right there at the moment, dude.
You have to talk about it.
Yeah, 100% you do.
Yeah, you do.
Because you have to feel all those emotions, those feelings, and be open about that, and then kind of begin to work through the conscious decisions that have to go through in that moment of making the right decision.
The like fleeting moments. Because there's times like even now, it's like I have to wrestle this because I know from past experience that if I drink enough, I won't be in any pain.
Yeah, and how hard that is, man.
Well, it's very difficult.
Dude, it's almost, dude, it's
I
borderline impossible, really. Like the first time, I would say the first time that you're presented as an addict, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
The first time you're presented with a moment like that, and there's nobody else around. It's just you and that. And nobody's ever going to know nothing. Yeah. And you have to have success. I would like to see the percentage of success rate there, because it's probably almost zero to be able to just walk away from that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
There's obviously people that do.
Well, yeah. Well, 100%. But I'm just saying, like, you know what I mean?
It's difficult.
You're sitting there in that instance, and it's like, what do you do?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And it's just like,
well, yeah, because if I drink, it's because I choose to.
Right, 100%. So you have to sit there.
I want to
process.
I want to drink because I want to have a glass of wine or single drink.
I would say that creates
drink to alleviate anything.
I bet that right there in itself creates so many relapses. You know, on the first gate. But you know what I mean? Every time you relapse, it just sets you up for a better, well, I shouldn't phrase it like that. You just have better chance of success. You know what I mean? Because you build up this clean time, right? Yeah. And then you get in a moment like that, boom, you get set back, you have that relapse, and then you now have experience. Yeah, you now have experience of what it feels to be free from that to a point. So it's like, boom, I want that back, and I want that back quick. So you have all these steps already engraved in you, so you can, easily make moves to get back.
Weird,
so just because you relapse doesn't necessarily mean, your success rate's probably even better.
Oh yeah,
moving forward, man.
Yeah.
So just stand back up, knock it down, kick it back, and let's go, man.
Or just don't relapse.
Yeah, well, for real though, but it happens, man. So you have to be understandable of that. I think to a point.
Maintain a constant state of recovery.
For real, 100%. Like, but yeah, I'm just thinking of those moments though when it's like. It's just, you're getting tested at the fullest extent of what one can be tested.
Well, I feel like
are you going to pass that test, man? Whew, I don't know. I don't know, man. You have to be there in the moment. Like,
right.
Like even today, you have to be ready for that. Just like you would have to be ready for that in this moment. You know what I mean?
Be ready for it when I open my fridge.
Yeah, 100%, dude. Yeah, 100%, Ryan. Well said.
Keep some beers in there for whoever.
Yeah.
Some Rolling Rock and some Jim Beam and some Moonshine in there right now.
Yeah.
So... yeah, so far I haven't. I've thought about it because I'm like, I could drink that and go to sleep and sleep good. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I've been on 5 different pain medicines. None of them have helped.
And see, pain medicines, man, I don't like pain meds, man. I just, I don't know. I don't think they really do much to the effect of.
I don't like being in pain where I can't move.
Yeah. Yeah.
So the first few days, and it's just gotten worse. Like I said, every day has gotten more. And even when I went to the doctor yesterday, he's like, you have to rest. And I'm like, dude, I feel like I'm resting. He's like, don't carry wood. Don't take the freaking dog outside. don't be getting in and out of cars except to come here. Like, he put me off work the rest of the week. He's like, you need to just not do nothing.
Yeah, you just need to chill. Let that body.
Like, I get it, but then it's like, I have to take my dog out, you know?
Oh, yeah.
I mean? And the first trip out today, this son of a bitch, dude. I don't know. There was a cat in the yard yesterday, so he's on high alert now.
Yeah.
And I don't know what he thought. A leaf blew by, and he just took off, and it came across my body, dude. And I've tell myself all the time, and I tell Trish the same thing. I was like, don't hang on, just let go. But no, I just kept holding on, and I was about on the ground. But yeah, we had to come to Jesus meeting after that. But I mean, it's just things you take for granted. But I don't know. The last 3 days, especially is like Saturday night, really hit me, you know, because I had really a lot of back problems until September 12th of 2023. So it's been a year, 4 months, and almost a year and 4 months to the day, no back pain. So then you go back to that, and it's like, first off, I don't want to go through that again. I don't want to live through that. Like, I mean, I really, at a point through that, I chose to try to end my life. I don't want to feel any of those things. So that makes it difficult. And then, of course, then it's like, you know, where did I do something wrong? Am I being punished? You know, and at the end of the day, it's pretty simple. It's like it says right in the book, the Lord gives and the Lord takes away. So it's at his discretion, his decision, whatever. So then now I'm left with the 4 T's of temptation, trials, testing, and tribulation. And so what do I do with all that? And it makes it very difficult to meditate, right? Because a lot of the times when I'm going into meditation mode, the first couple 3 minutes, dude, I can get really, really relaxed. And then, I don't know. I mean, within 5 minutes, I'm right back to all I feel is my back just throbbing, you know?
Yeah.
And so as it's throbbing, this is what I hear. I just hear, fuck it, you know, every heartbeat.
Yeah.
You know, and that's kind of how I feel. I'm just being honest, and I hate to use that word. I'm just in that spot. But so then I go right back, you know, and it's like I'll try to find something in Scripture. And, you know, it takes me right to Corinthians where Paul's talking about his affliction. And Satan, a messenger of Satan, came 3 times, afflicted him 3 times, you know, and he asked God, well, please take this away. And God says, no, my grace is sufficient. And I'm just like, but God, I do not want to go through this again.
Yeah, and you guys, and yours was taken away there for what?
A year and 4 months, almost to the day.
Yeah.
Dude. So, and it'll be interesting, like I said. So before I had nodules in my thoracic spine poking up and down, right? I mean, as weird as that pain came on, that pain went away. And I couldn't even say, everybody's like, well, what'd you do? My back might have been jacked up, but I didn't hurt it until a series of events happened. And it did happen while I was at work, but it wasn't anything related to work. I was horsing around. And when I went to turn, like I knew, you know what I mean? Like you've been injured where it sucks the life out of you. Oh, yeah. It's almost like a kick in the nuts.
Oh, 100%.
And so, but on the good end of that, like I said, the other guy, he's got his shoulder all taped up from it. So I wasn't the only one that suffered through.
Yeah.
You know? So it does, but it just.
And an injury like that could take probably 8 to 12 weeks, man.
Yeah, or it could be till God takes it away again. I don't know. I mean, there's lots of things that could happen. I don't want to have surgery. I want to do physical therapy and that. But I have a good friend, man. He was doing so good. He'd been clean he's still clean, but he got a really bad infection and it went into his spinal column and it deteriorated like 5 of his vertebrae.
Yeah.
And so he went on, just kept working at Tyson's and everything, and then I don't know. He just said one day he just kind of like couldn't hold himself up anymore. And so he gets rushed to the emergency room and some of those vertebrae were broken. Mm. And so they went in and he could still walk. They told him he'd never walk again. He's walking. I think that's huge. He lives in excruciating pain. He's got like multiple pins and they're shallow and you know what I mean? Like it just sucks for him. But he's like, dude, they told me I'd never walk again. I can walk. That's a huge blessing. And in my mind, I'm like, yeah, but god dang, dude.
Yeah, like just think of how much work he had to put in.
He did have to put some
That's
work.
what I mean. Yeah, like you got to put in work. And that's what I think too. Like,
pain.
Yeah, like you. That's why that's why I said beginning earlier on too in the conversation. Like you need to take care of that body and put in like some even if just light work. Like you should be walking, you know, a little bit, man. If you're not doing nothing, man, go out and stroll for a mile or two, man.
Right.
You know what I mean? Take a walk.
I don't know. I was there for a while. I was keeping track of my steps. That was the good thing too about my work was like I was busy. Now when it got cold, we weren't going to the park and stuff, obviously, because it's cold.
Yeah.
Go to the Y and go to the gym at the place where I work at. Like, and it's like, dude, things were just like, like when you're at work and it's just kind of like you just do your job, and then they present you with a new idea that's right up your alley. So then you're like really excited.
Oh yeah.
And then this happens.
Yeah.
And so, yeah, I don't know. Trisha was over at my office today talking to him because she had to take some paperwork to my boss. And of course, I've always been fairly blessed with jobs that I've always liked, right? I've never really taken a job that I disliked,
Yeah.
Even when I worked at Burger King, I thought it would be fun. I was like 19 years old. It was during the fair. I never even got a uniform. I wore T-shirt and shorts, but it was during the fair. They still had $1 Whoppers. It was extremely busy, but it was so much fun.
Yeah.
I did landscaping by day and Burger King by night. And then even after the fair quit, I still stayed for another month.
Yeah.
Like I think for a week, I didn't even get paid. I just kept showing up, dude.
I love it so much. I'm doing it for free.
Well, my friend was the manager, and I knew a couple of guys that worked there. And it was just a lot of fun.
Yeah, good times, man.
So, yeah. But I don't know. I mean, at the end of the day, I still got to I got to work through my steps, and I got to go back to God. And even I'm kind of ticked off at him right now, because I don't know exactly what's happening and why,
Yeah, but I think but again, though, too, being ticked off, I mean, the way I see that would be kind of like a relationship, you know what I mean? I mean, you're going to have that in relationships.
Oh, yeah.
So there's nothing wrong with that. That just says you're working on your relationship with God, man.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
It is.
Yeah.
It is.
Heck, I get upset myself at times, man, for sure.
I like it a lot better when I'm upset about other people's.
Yeah, and
why them,
And if I really start looking at it, then it usually always points right back at me.
Oh yeah.
And some choices I was making or doing, you know what I mean, or deciding.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. It's usually me at the end of that thing.
I think we pay. Yeah, well, it is. I mean, it's a penalty of living I think it's a penalty of living a reckless life.
Yeah.
Yeah,
choices, man.
I would go days and days and days, not even on meth, but I would not hardly eat anything.
Yeah.
Just wouldn't. Drink a lot of Monsters, drove a truck.
Yeah. Yeah, them energy drinks ain't good.
No, don't really mess with those too much.
Yeah.
Try to drink as much water as possible.
Man, I drink a lot of, I drink probably a thermos. I fill up my thermos of coffee daily. Drink that. I drink, I drink probably half gallon to a gallon of water a day.
Yeah.
And I have an energy drink. I bet I drink I like a Red Bull, man. I drink probably one Red Bull a week, I bet. But, and I put in some work though, if I'm doing that.
Right.
I take advantage of that. Like if I put one of those down, I'm putting in some work.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. If I open up my work computer and have like 12 appointments, I might get some espresso.
Yeah. See, I like a good latte, man.
I know.
A good black coffee, man.
So anyways, I don't know, buddy. What do you think?
I don't know, man. I don't know much of nothing.
It's cold.
Yeah. I like the cold though, man.
All in all, even through all this struggle and suffering, I still, at the end of the day, I was talking to a guy yesterday and I told him, I said, even with all this, dude, you have no idea how overblessed I am.
Oh, for sure. Yeah. I love that. Yeah. Overly blessed, man. And I'm, regardless of how it looks too, man, or how it's going, like I'm always trying to lean in a little bit more.
Oh yeah.
I'm trying to love a little bit more. I'm trying just to do better the best I can. I'm trying to get better every day and in every way.
I think that's part of something too that I'm missing because, like at my job, I get to do those things, and the benefit is it's rewarding, emotionally, physically, all these different things. Plus, I get paid for it. Right?
Yeah.
And now it's like I feel like I don't have a lot of purpose right this minute. Right? You know what I mean?
Mm.
And that's one of the reasons too. Why I was like, oh, because Trisha, she was like, well, I can't believe you're going on a podcast. I was like, I'll get emotional. I was like, that's what gave me purpose when all this started before September of 2023. Like I had nothing. Like I did not want to do anything, and we moved to Liberty Street, which was great. That was a blessing because I got these great neighbors that actually cared about me that I talked to one of them every day, like multiple times a day, and then shortly after that, we started rolling with the podcast. huge blessing.
Yeah.
You know?
Indeed, man. Indeed, Ryan.
So this is literally the only thing I've really done today except take my dog out to pee and make some chicken fried steaks.
Yeah, man. God is good, man. Always.
Yeah. He is good.
Always good.
He is. And if I ever lose sight of that part, then I probably need punched in the throat.
Yeah, we don't always necessarily see it, but like I said, once you continue down the path and looking, you'll eventually find it was just you messing with you. You know what I mean? That was you. Some choices you made or you did, and
oh yeah, I'm not disputing that.
Yeah,
well, that's where shame and guilt plays in. I got to try to turn it into conviction. So yeah, it's like I could.
Yeah, you just give that away, man.
I could call the guy around the corner and probably get some pills laced with fentanyl, of course.
Yeah, after shame's had its way with you, it's time to give it away, man. If you've got what you needed from it. I
don't hold on to that.
Yeah,
very long.
Got to move past that real quick.
No reason to.
100%.
Yeah. Shame's a real crappy emotion.
Yeah, it is, man. Ooh, it's dirty. Hey, bitch, that's dirty. That shame's that dirty,
we're not
man.
Meant to carry that. We're not meant to shoulder shame.
No, you're not.
Or grief, or any of it. That's what God's for.
Yeah, grief. Dude, I like grief though, man. I do like grief
There's
to a point.
Huge difference.
Well, yeah, you can
godly grieving.
Yeah, like
right?
you can
worldly grieving.
Exactly, because in that grief too. Like if you allow it, it can attach to you. You can attach yourself to it.
You think of godly grief,
and man, dude, it'll wreck you.
In moments of deep grief, I'll use Travis as an example. You know what I mean? His birthday was a couple of days ago or a week or so ago, whatever. Yeah. Maybe it's longer than that now. But anyways.
Time flies, Ryan. It's been a couple of weeks, man.
Let me tell you.
Yeah, a few weeks.
Maybe, so I think through that grief, but even in that moment of sadness, it's like I see that goofy SOB with his freaking hat, flat bill, backwards, and his plugs in his ears, and all these things and his ticks that he did, and just his smile, right? Yeah. And then I remember him like we were given testimonies for a encounter deal, and you're supposed to have 5 minutes, and Travis took 30. JVB had to fall 37 minutes.
Ooh, that's a good number right there.
Someone tried to shut him down, and he said, "Don't you quench the Holy Spirit."
Yeah.
And then he said, "Play that video." You know what I mean? And like none of that. It's supposed to be 5 minutes, and it was on a Tuesday night with a bunch of old people.
He said, "Don't you quench that Holy Spirit."
That's what he said.
No, 100% he did. That's Travis.
Yeah. And so then it took me right out of that grief to realize, and I think about these things a lot, and I'm sure you have, like, we get hung up in this idea of like, I want to leave a legacy. Well, I don't have to create anything.
Yeah, exactly.
Right? I could possibly. I don't know. I mean, and there's parts of me that might leave some legacy behind, don't get me wrong, but that's besides the point. But if I latch on to this legacy of the cross and this legacy of the book and the legacy of creation and all these things that become a part of that, it's so much greater than anything Ryan McCrory is going to do.
Oh, 100%. Yeah. Yeah, because I think we are designed to create, but
Travis
to create for the glory of God. Yeah. That one Travis did. Yeah, for sure.
And that's just one example.
Yeah.
But I'm saying in that grief moment, joy comes right away. Right? Because of, I give it to God, right? Yeah. I traded that pain for peace very shortly after it happened. And then once again, when I went out to Pratt for referendum earlier this year, it kind of got to me because no one showed up, right? And I was mad at Travis because it was his fault. If he would have been there, people would have came.
Asshole.
I know. I went out to the cemetery directly and let him know about it. But then on the way home, I go through these steps, of trading pain for peace, and by the time I get home, I'm just like, you rascal.
Yeah, for real though, man. 100% I do.
Wherever you're at, you're still a rascal.
Yeah.
But anyways, I love you, dude. I'm ready to get off here. My back.
Love you too, brother. Love you, Ryan.
Start saying things that I regret.
One love.
We love you guys.
Shalom.